All right, let's talk about a massive change that is completely shaking up Google search. If you're a creator, a blogger, a business owner, anyone who makes stuff for the internet, what we're about to cover is going to directly affect how people find you. So let's dive right in.
You've definitely seen this, right? You type a question into Google and boom, right at the very top, before you even see the search results, there's a neat little summary giving you the answer. That's not some weird fluke, it's a fundamental change in how search actually works.
So what you're seeing is officially called Google AI mode in search. And it's a huge deal because it's shifting us away from that classic list of 10 blue links we all know. Search is becoming more like a conversation. Instead of just getting a list of websites, you get a direct answer, and you can even ask follow-up questions right there.
So how in the world does this actually work? Let's take a peek under the hood and see what's powering these new AI overviews. It's a pretty wild process, and it all happens in the blink of an eye.
Okay, so it all kicks off with understanding what you really mean. That's query understanding. Then it uses something called natural language processing, or NLP, to analyze the words you used, the context, everything. From there, Google's AI models generate that surprisingly human-like summary. But, and this is super important, it doesn't just make stuff up. It checks its work against high-quality websites, links to them as sources, and even gets ready for you to ask more questions.
This is the perfect way to think about it. Seriously. Search is no longer just a directory for finding websites, it's becoming an assistant that gets what you're trying to do and actually chats with you to help you find it. It's a whole new ball game.
All right, so that's the what and the how. But now we get to the really big question. Why should you, as a creator, care? Well, because this shift creates a brand new landscape with some pretty scary challenges, but also some absolutely incredible opportunities.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because it's a total double-edged sword. On the one hand, yeah, the challenge is obvious. If the AI gives the answer right at the top, why would anyone click on your link? But flip that coin. If your content gets cited in that AI overview, you're instantly positioned as an authority. The people who do click through from there, they're not just browsing, they're highly engaged, they're pre-qualified, and that means they're way more likely to convert.
This is the absolute key takeaway. Our entire strategy has to change. The old game of just stuffing keywords into an article, that's fading fast. The new goal, the only goal, is to create content that answers a user's question so clearly and so directly that Google's AI has no choice but to feature it as the definitive answer.
Let's make this super practical. In the old days, if you searched for best post-workout snacks, you'd get a wall of links, a list of homework basically, that you had to sift through. But now with AI mode, you get an immediate summary. Here are 5 top snacks, with links pointing straight to the best blogs. If you're a fitness blogger, your new mission is to get your article featured right there in that box.
Okay, so this is all happening. The big question now is, what do we do about it? How do you actually win in this new world of search? Let's get into the creator's playbook.
Here are 7 key things you can start doing today. First, answer questions head-on. Maybe even use a Q&A format. Write like you're talking to a friend. Build real authority with solid research. Use structured content, things like lists and tables. The AI loves that stuff because it's easy to understand. Link your posts together, cite other experts, and use images and videos. These aren't just good ideas anymore, they're essential.
Look, if you remember just one single thing from all this, let it be this. Your entire content strategy needs to be focused on one mission, being the absolute best, clearest, and most trustworthy answer to any question your audience might have. Period.
All right, let's bring it all home. I know this can all sound a little scary, like the game is over for creators, but I promise you, that could not be further from the truth.
Let's be super clear. SEO is not dead. Not even close. It's just growing up. You have to remember, this powerful AI doesn't just invent information out of thin air. It has to learn from somewhere. It summarizes the best stuff it can find on the web. And where does that stuff come from? It comes from creators, like you. Your job now is to feed the AI the highest quality meal you possibly can.
So that's the question I want to leave you with. The future of search is all about providing direct answers. So take a hard look at your own content, at your strategy, and ask yourself, is it just another link in a long list, or is it ready to be the answer?